Okay, Sheriff, tell me about this place.
This is a replica of a jail that was being used in Globe from roughly 1876 to 1887, when Globe became a county seat and they built themselves a new stone courthouse. This building is made of adobe, which was quick and cheap to do. The problem with adobe is that it's just softened clay brick and covered with plaster, and a prisoner with a sharpened spoon could actually dig his way out the walls. Now that didn't happen because we had a jailer watching him the whole time. But what could have happened is that you've seen the movies where they'll back a horse up to the window and throw a rope through the window and pull the window right out of the wall. Well, that could happen here. But in this case, it would not do them any good. All will get you into the sheriff's office. The jails themselves had no windows at all. Now we had room for lots of guys in here. We had to wait here till the sheriff came here. We had a circuit judge, the judge came here. We had a circuit judge came by maybe once or twice a month, and they waited here until he got here. He came up from Florence. At any rate, if you'd done something relatively minor, why, he'd fine you for whatever you had in your pocket and you were gone. If you'd done something major, you'd have to get a trial together, which meant he had to round up 12 drunken minors for the jury, have a trial that day because he had to be somewhere else the following day. He'd bang his gavel at the end of it, and if you'd done something fairly serious, he'd sentence you to Yuma, to prison, or he'd schedule a hanging for murder if you'd done something like that. And we'd set up the gallows, but he'd schedule the hanging far enough in advance that he could tell the sheriff would post it, and it would become a public affair, a public hanging, and the farmers and ranchers would come in from miles around to watch the hanging. Now this is an excuse for them to get together, so while they were here, they had themselves a picnic out in the yard, they watched the hanging, the ladies would bring their sewing, they'd have a sewing clutch, the guys would bring their special horseshoes, they'd have a horseshoe tournament, they'd have a hoedown that night, all because some poor guy got his neck stretched. But it was a big deal for these lonely ranchers as an excuse to get together.
What about these guys?
These guys here, they're cooling off because they got themselves drunk at the saloon last night and got into a brawl. And apparently they picked on some guys bigger than themselves because they looked kind of the worse for the wear. But I'll let them go when they've slept it all off. Those guys on the wall are all real bad guys from the 19th century. Do you recognize any in-laws?
The Deltons. The Sundance Kid.
Now, some of those more famous guys are really from other parts of the country, but $15,000 reward.